Hi, this is Michelle with Living Your Dreams. I am at the house of Tamara Wells. You are about to be blown away by the things that she does with her products. She has her own garden, and I live like 8 houses down, so I thought, why not do an interview on my neighbor? What's better than knowing your neighbors? I remember when I was young and you'd look outside and all the moms would be on the porch eating their little whatever and drink, and the mothers would stop by and say hey and chat while the kids played. And now you don't see anybody. You know, you don't really kind of say hi, but nobody's home, or everyone acts like they don't have time for each other. So I've been trying to get to know some of my neighbors, and she's a pretty delightful young woman. So let's take a look inside and see what's going on in her garden. I'm delighted to see you today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, a little bit about me is I was always this young girl, and my mother always told the story, and it kind of stuck with me. As a child, she used to put me out of three of us in the cart, in the front of the cart, because I was the one that got all excited about all the vegetables. So when you know how when you go into a grocery store, you see vegetables, fruits, and all these beautiful colors and such, and she said I would get so elated, and I would literally kick and smile and glow up until we passed the vegetables and I would become normal again. And ever since that day, she knew that I was going to be an organic baby. And as I grew up, she had to actually make my foods from scratch, from my milk to my food, because I wouldn't eat baby food. So it does not surprise me that I'm in a garden doing something natural all over again. And I love cooking, so everything that's in the garden, if I can cook it, I'm gonna cook it. So that's how I kind of came to this. And when we moved here to this home, I realized we needed to do something to the backyard. And my husband started getting fruit trees. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna start with some mints. So I started with some mints, and then I started with some strawberry plants. And when the strawberry plants started growing really good and they died off, I brought them back to life, and I realized, Tamara, you have a little green thumb that you never really had. So I decided to continue going with that and continue by doing with my edibles.
So, can you tell us what your favorite vegetable was as a child?
Oh, yes. My favorite vegetable was carrot, honey. And my mother said I used to eat so many of them that I would literally turn orange.
I've heard that happens.
And it does. It changes your pigment. And my favorite fruit, although you didn't ask, was strawberry, of course. So I can grow a drove of them.
So orange and red don't necessarily make light brown, but somewhere in there you got a little bit of the both of them in your system, which is good because they're both really good fruits that have good qualities for the body.
Yes, they do.
So, did you have a dream as a child, like something that stayed in your mind, like I'm gonna be that when I get older?
Oh my gosh, funny you say that, because recently all of this rain has created rainbows that I've asked God about my promise. Mm-hmm. And He's revealed my promise in the rainbows. I used to dream about rainbows all of the time. And I would dream about rainbows to the point that one day I had a dream, and the rainbow came to me. Now, there was no pot of gold, but there were certainly all the colors. And that part of science and in class in school, I would be crazy about, because I always remembered Roy G. Biv. Those are the colors of the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. And I would see every illuminated color.
Let me see if I can get those right. Red?
Roy G. Biv.
Is that the beginning of each letter is for a color?
Yes.
So let me try this.
We're going to test her.
We're going to test you. So R is for red.
Mm-hmm.
O is for orange.
Yes.
Is it a Y? Yellow.
Yes.
And what's the rest of it? G.
Roy G.
Green.
Mm-hmm. Biv.
Blue.
Yes. She's good.
It's the I. Indigo?
Yes, you're so good. She's so great.
Violet?
That's right.
Woohoo!
She's great.
Machelle Slade with Living Your Dreams. That is amazing.
Awesome.
I love to hear people. I have dreams. My dreams are vivid. I could write them down and remember every dream I ever had. They were always in color. And I would dream about the atmosphere folding back, and I could see all of the planets.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, and I could see them. It would scare me, but yet I was kind of like the person that was scared, but that was like more. So, as far as your dreams, you said what you dreamt, but did you want to be like an astronaut or a physicist? Or
I used to want to be, I desired in my heart to teach. I wanted to be a teacher of some sort. Now, it always in school, it always starts out with, I want to be a teacher like my favorite teacher, but not necessarily. I just wanted to teach. And I think it was within me to teach because I like to learn. I like to absorb, and I like the way I felt once I gained that information, because I could share it and plug it into whomever. And that way I feel great, they feel great, and it was always a give. And that really made me 100% complete. Is when I give, I want to see that giving be given back. Whether it doesn't have to be tangible. When you give something of yourself, you're always going to receive it back, whether you think you are or not.
So actually you're a teacher, because if you like gardening and you're growing things, only God created those things, but he gives us the ability to plant and to grow and to cultivate. So it's the same thing that we do with people. And so like you did, you came to the house with your vegetables, and she shared them with me, and that was a lesson in itself, because she was excited and said, well, this is for this, and she broke each one of them down exactly what they were supposed to be for. And I was reluctant. I didn't know her, so
I probably bored her.
No, I was intrigued by the whole way we met, because I truly know that everything is a divine appointment. When I look to God for something, then I realize that it's Him, and He's never going to lead me astray, and He's never going to bring anything to me that's going to hurt me or cause me to stumble. If I make choices, then I got to deal with it.
Yes.
I can't.
Amen to that.
Okay.
Amen.
So, I'm looking at these. I'm Curious George over here, and I see what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jars.
Yes.
And I would like to know what each of them are.
Well, let's start with actually an active sample.
Okay.
Are you up for it?
I
You
sure
game for it?
am.
Okay, we're going to start with, since the weather is a bit coming into moisture and a bit dry right now, but not quite dry enough, then we get the itchies. So this addresses the exfoliant of the dry hands, and it's good for the cuticles in the nail bed. So I always like to say, wherever you scrub it and you want it to be soft, that's where you put it. Okay? So we're going to start with Divine Hands. And with Divine Hands, I always say about all of my products is they are organically grown, they are magically edible, and they're not to be eaten. But they smell delicious. Okay? They really do. So I want you to smell this one.
Okay.
And you tell me, I want you to close your eyes. And just watch for her reaction. This is what nature, what God does. This is with nature. This is Divine Hands.
I couldn't begin to tell you what was in it. Is there some citrus?
Yes.
What is that citrus?
That's citrus. That's a definite. That's got orange zest.
Oh,
Orange zest
okay.
in it. But a lot of the ingredients I have, they're in process for patent, so they're proprietary. So some of the blends are, or a lot of the blends have proprietary ingredients in them. Whereas right now I wouldn't be able to go into detail because I have to make sure that they're actually palatable for skin types. So I have to complete the blends and kind of authenticate them. But this is going to be Divine Hand. So we're going to do a Divine Hand sample. And that requires getting a small portion. As you can see, it's just a pinch. You can take your jewelry off, but you don't have to. That's the great part about it. They're exfoliants and they don't dye. There's no dyes, there's no coloring. It's all natural ingredients. So I'm going to put this in Michelle's hands. It's just a pinch of it. As you can see, I'm just grabbing a pinch and I'm going to put a pinch in my hands. And we're going to lean over to the sidewalk and we're just going to scrub. And you can feel the magic of the scrub as it sits in your hand. It kind of sticks to you because those are the emollients And you want to rub it and rub it to the point until it granulates even softer into
Can I
a
do the
sand.
outside of my skin?
Do that, yes, definitely. Do everything you want to be soft, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
This is
yeah,
great.
because my husband's
I'ma
coming
tell ya.
home. I can't touch him with dry, itchy hands.
Honey, I haven't even let my husband use this one yet. I think he thinks it's a girl product. He just doesn't know. But this one, you want, if you can see that, you can see the granules getting
Yeah.
smaller. As you rub, the granules turn into more like iodized type of salt. You know, really, really small.
Yeah, I see.
And they turn out really soft. So I usually get my wrists, anything that I think is wrinkled. It's nothing wrinkled on that stuff. But anything that I think I want to smell good, and I get them cuticles, because those cuticles will be absolutely soft when you get done with them.
And I like the point you made. A lot of times men get squeamish, but we all have skin, right?
Hey,
We all get dry,
okay.
so we all need to exfoliate.
You might not like smelling good, but you know, hey, you're going to be nice and soft for
That's
you.
right, that's right. And
You
my
gotta
man
do it
can't
for
touch
you.
me with rough hands. I'm
That's
sorry.
right. Water here, just a tad. Just a tad of water. Hold your hands over here. And now it's kind of chilly. I don't want you to catch no. Hallelujah. I don't want you to catch cold, honey.
Ooh, I can feel the oils. It actually activated.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you. You see how soft that feels?
Yeah.
Just with the water? Now, I usually don't dry my hands. I
Right.
let them air dry because
Right.
if I pat them dry, it's going to get more air in it. But this water seals oils. If you remember what your grandma said, if you put oil on your skin while it's wet, what happens? It softens and moisturizes. So when I use water, you don't need a lot of it. You
This
just
feels
put
really
it right
good.
on there.
Yeah.
And you just let it air dry, and it's super soft. You don't hear the sand anymore, ladies. You don't hear
it
that sand
smells
anymore.
good.
And it's edibly soft. So that's our first experience. And that was-
Yummy. I like that one.
And that.
And I
was-
like the word divine.
Yes.
Divine hands.
How I came across that title is because God sent this product to my heart.
Okay.
And I see two praying hands, and I think that's what's going to be my little icon for it. Praying hands with some beautiful jewelry on it and a glorious halo just above it.
All right now. So, next.
Our next famous one, I'm going to sit this one to the side here, is going to be our glow face.
Okay.
Now, glow face is what I'm wearing. I don't know if you can get a close-up of this, but I'm glowing. Y'all, you can't see? I'm glowing. Look at my nose. One day I was out in the yard and I kept on scratching my nose. And you know how you get those dry peely and then the little white heads and then black heads that you just can't get off without puncturing your skin? Well, I went in the bathroom and I just said, I'm sick of this. I was so frustrated and I just threw it together. Glow face. I threw it together. And I decided I'm going to scrub my face right now and then go back into the garden. So I'm in the bathroom scrubbing my face and I'm just like, you know how when you're frustrated, you tend to do things a little longer because you lose sight of time. So I'm scrubbing and it's been about a minute or two. And I'm like, oh, let me get this stuff off my face. I'm sitting in front. So I rinsed my face off, got it all good, and woke back up and put the towel in. And I was like, whoa! I jumped back and I literally said, wow. And I literally was glowing looking in the mirror at myself. And that's why I called it glow face, because my nose looked like Rudolph. It's literally shining. I don't know if you can see that. There's no sun out here, but it does have a little shine on it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question. You can answer it or not. But because of the product you use and what I'm seeing, you mind telling the people how old you are?
I do, but if y'all keep it a secret, I will. I am 50 this August.
And that's why I said that, because to me, whatever she's doing to her skin, you would not have thought that. I would have given her maybe 39, 38, 39 years old. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
So, next.
Next product we're going to talk about is Candy Girl. This is my newest one. I named her Candy Girl because it reminded me of my sister. She used to eat candy growing up all the time, and she had these little rainbow pants. And her rainbow pants, literally a rainbow, was like all the colors of candy that she loved. So I called it Candy Girl, and this is a sugar scrub.
Oh, okay.
So this sugar scrub I made specifically for her. So So I wouldn't put this on the market yet until she actually approves of it. But it smells like you smell it. It may smell like what it is, but I've had it closed up and sealed.
Usually I have a good nose, but I can't make it out, probably because I'm still dwelling on the divine hands.
She has been spoiled, ladies. Okay, I'm going to say this is candy cane. It's got candy cane, real candy cane in it with the sugars. So that's why it's called Candy Girl, and I was inspired to do
Wasn't
it.
there a song like that? Candy Girl. I love it. Okay, what else you got?
And the next one we've got is Sweet Feet. I think I gave you a sample of this one, hon.
For
And-
Christmas.
Yes, I did. Now, we're going to let you smell this one.
Okay.
I have a feeling that, ladies, she might be kind of partial. But I'm gonna ask you.
Okay, let me move my hands out the way.
Yeah,
so
we
I
don't want divine hands
This smells
involved
kinda
in
minty.
this.
Is there something minty in it?
Actually, yes, there is. Magically, it's a proprietary ingredient, and I want to make sure. But yes, it does have
Okay.
a mint in it.
Okay.
And do you smell the sweetness?
I just got that mint and felt like my sinuses were like, woo!
And the reason for the mint is mint attacks dry skin very well. And it moistens the skin, and it gives the emollients a chance to come to the surface. If you think about men, you think about, I would equate it to, not equate it to, but compare it to what cayenne peppers do. They open up the pores and they get in, and so when it gets in, it softens and soothes. So it warms. When you have circulation and it warms, something that warms actually brings the emollients and the oils out of your bloodstreams. So it's a trigger. It's like a friction, like a trigger.
Good.
So that's what we've got in Sweet Feet.
Well, I used to do feet, and to this day, people think I'm weird because if I look at your feet and they don't look right, it really, really bothers me. I really want to get a blade and like cut the dry skin off the heel.
Oh my gosh.
And I want to just tap you and say, I know somewhere you can get a good pedicure.
Oh wow.
So I'm curious about this last one, Cafe
Oh
Toes.
honey. I think our videographer is going to be able to tell us a little more about this when we get his feet.
Uh-oh.
When we get him, he's going to love this one. This one's for the guys. This one was inspired by my husband. It's called, as you can see, Cafe Toes. Now, men's feet and women's feet, two different kinds of feet.
I'm telling you.
Different kinds of feet, y'all. Okay? So we had to have something for the ladies' sweet feet. But the men, they like that coffee. They like that man's drink. You know, Pete's Coffee and stuff like that? Yeah, I had to make it a man's man. Okay? And this is called Cafe Toes. And my husband's name is Latine. And for short, he loves coffee. So it influenced the name.
Oh.
So I decided to name it after him and inspired this one by him. So one day I did his feet. He was sitting watching TV. And he was like, oh no, baby, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, oh, sit back and be quiet. I bought the bucket in, and I had this, and I was ready, towel and all. When I got finished with 1 foot, ladies, 1 foot, he looked at me, was like, wow, that feels really good.
Having issues in your marriage? Cafe Toes.
Hey,
Rub them feet.
rub them feet. Hallelujah, glory. All right now. Now I'm going to let you smell this, and you tell me, does it smell like a man, and does it smell like coffee?
Yes. I will put that on my husband's feet as soon as he gets back from Africa. I don't do dry feet.
Amen.
Cafe Toes, ladies.
Cafe Toes.
Wow.
So that's the end of the line there, and they continue to birth themselves in my heart. All of my products get prayed over.
Where do you want this to go?
Where do I want this to go? My view of all of my products is to be able to share it with the homeless community. I would absolutely love, when you spoke about the marriage with this one, that's what this one inspired. Cafe Toes inspires a marriage because women need to touch their husband's feet. God had his feet washed by his disciples, and it brought them close to him.
Yeah.
And a lot of learning messages came from that. There's so many gospels that come from that. And with the rest of the products, I pray for them to do what they need to do in the homes, in the hearts, and on the limbs of everyone. So they're not just for guys and gals, they're for everyone.
Well, actually, there is a correlation. Let's see here. You have divine hands. When we touch people, if we're touching them with the love of God, it's a divine appointment. If you have glow face and your light is shining for the Lord, then that is an inspiration. If you have sweet feet, it says to shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Glory.
And if you have cafe toes, like she said, you and your man might be going through a little something. Maybe he's tired. Women, sometimes we tend to be a little chatty, and we always pick on the negative. Sometimes say, babe, what do you want? Sometimes, like she said, get the bucket. I know a lot of y'all seen War Room. Remember when she said her toes were stinky and she didn't? He had a mask on.
Oh my goodness!
And he still did it, but that wasn't far from the truth. My husband was telling me in the military they have to wear the boots, and the boots rub their feet a lot. And my daughter was in the military, and she has problems now with her feet. She's got pretty feet, but they get dry and really rough, and she hates that because she likes her little sandals and stuff. But you know, sometimes, like she said, what Jesus did for his disciples is an act of humility.
Yes.
It was him saying he knew he was God, but he didn't find it beneath himself to humble himself and serve them, wash their feet. And I think we need to get back to that. So all of these, like she said, I feel are divinely inspired.
Yes.
Do you feel that your product is top notch? Do you feel that your product, are you trying to have it on the market, or do you want it to be more in an intimate setting of giving your product, selling your product?
You know, I love that question every single time because I always love intimacy. I always love one intimacy. I love that. When you connect, when you do something with or for people, there's a connection. And once you make that connection, it's forever. You just have to make that connection. And that plug-in is like electricity. And that's what I want to happen. I want it to be electric. I want you to touch someone and shock that person. That person to touch someone and shock that person. That's what the homeless community is. It's growing. It's electric. It's like viral right now. So this is definitely needed because they need maintenance. They need someone to care for them. They need someone that knows that they love them.
Exactly.
They need to feel loved like everybody else.
Some of the words, some of the things that you heard Tamara share, I want to leave you with this. The word says, in order to be a friend, you must show yourself friendly. She has done that. She's introduced herself to people. She has shown up at events. Matter of fact, she didn't know Diana. I walked down the street. Diana had keys hanging out of the shop. So I banged on the door. I met her, said I'll bring some people back. I told her about Diana. She went over there. She's a woman of action. Some people just sit. Oh yeah, I heard you tell me about this person. They've been friends ever since. And she can go to her because Diana loves to pray and she loves to give spiritual counsel. And I want you to be careful because she's got something beautiful here and is divinely inspired. Whoever you meet, whoever has something that they want to show you, the word says to listen to every man's story. Don't ever assume by how someone's looking that there's something wrong with them because you may be entertaining an angel unaware. So, I would like for Tamara to share with everyone how to get a hold of her, and if she would like for them to call or just talk about her products or even maybe teach them a little. She said she likes to teach. So teach about gardening. I kind of want her to teach me how to raise some cucumbers so I can stick them under my eyes. It was such a delight, Tamara, talking with you and sharing all your products, sharing a little bit about how you loved on your husband with your product, how you meet other people, and I've always loved Ministry of the Homeless. I was homeless with my child, and we were in a lot of places that were scary and some were very loving, but it was when the ones that touched us, loved us, and didn't talk about us or put us down, those are the ones that helped. Those that give the little care package here and there. And so I believe God's going to take you a long way. Just keep your eyes on the prize. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask her one more question. I want you to look at the camera. There's people who have dreams, but they sit on them and they're afraid. because they may not believe in themselves? It could be a number of things. Could you give a word of inspiration before we go?
Never give up. Dream on and love everyone from your heart. When you truly love, you're inspired to be loved, and it comes back to you, and you don't feel like anything is owed to you, because that's the way God created us, is to give. And when you give that love, you always receive it back. So just be you and love, because that's who we all are. It's really who we are.
Well, I had a great time. And I don't know why, but that song is still ringing in my head. Candy Girl. Candy Girl. How can we get a hold of you?
You can grab a hold of me. I do walkthroughs in my garden. If you do by appointments, I'll walk you through my garden personally. And you get a free sample with that walkthrough, as long as you're inspired to share. How you can reach me is on Facebook and by phone. My Facebook tag is the Scrub Diva. And the Facebook URL is https://www.facebook.com/Wells of Wellness Herbs. And the Instagram is Wells of Wellness. So you should find me any and everywhere. And a contact number is my business line, and I ask all questions. I answer all questions. And I also do shows. I do private affairs, if you'd like. I do vignettes. I do boutique showings, and whatever you'd like. You can inspire me sometimes. But my number contact is 619-821-5274. That's 619-821-5274. Wells of Wellness Herbs.
Well, that's the end of our show. See you next time on Living Your Dreams.
Candy Girl.